Hello, hello. Hey, babe.
Good afternoon. How is everyone in the podcast land today?
Yeah.
I can hear myself.
Okay, put your mic a little bit closer. There you go. You should be
Okay.
okay now. All right,
Good evening. How is everybody
that's a whole
doing?
lot better. Yeah, welcome
Hmm.
to another episode of Melanated Thought, where we talk about things that affect the black community. I mean, affect the black community, not affect. I can't even talk today. I'm Reggio,
And I am Mimi the lady.
and what a lovely lady she is.
Bomb chicka wow wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, buddy, we got a good one, y'all, because I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. White folks are losing their damn minds. They ain't the first time, but we
I
know
just
that
want to
though.
say this is like deja vu.
Yeah, exactly. So, today's episode we call Fear of a Black Planet. Now, for those of you that are hip hop heads, you know that there was a Public Enemy album with the same name. And that's pretty much where I got the premise. And being that white people had pretty much lost their damn minds, I thought I'd just do this show and name it just that, Fear of a Black Planet. Because to be completely honest with you, they are scared that they're losing control of the country and, for lack of a better term, the whole world.
Mm.
Because you got to think about it. They own and control every damn thing.
Hmm.
So,
In their mind.
yeah, in their mind, yeah, in their narcissistic way of thinking, yeah, they control everything. So, well, there's that. But we'll get into that a little bit deeper.
Hmm.
Uh, anyway, before we get started, I want to go ahead and say rest in peace to one of my childhood heroes. We lost a great one. The great running back for the Cleveland Browns, Mr. Jim Brown himself. He set the bar for what a running back should be in the NFL. Before Jim Brown, there would be no Emmitt Smith, there would be no Ricky Williams, there would be no Eric Dickerson, there would be no Adrian Peterson, there would be no Priest Holmes,
Mm.
there would be no Walter Payton.
Well, I can say well, WP. Yeah.
So, before any of those guys, there was Jim Brown. He was a rider. He fought for civil rights.
Absolutely.
He was loved and revered by a lot of folks. Like I said, he was one of my childhood heroes. He retired from football early so he could pursue an acting career and became really successful in that.
I think over 80 movies. I think I
He
saw.
did a lot of movies,
he-
man.
I didn't even realize they did that many.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
I think
oh yeah.
I think he was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, wasn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah, I
was.
like that one. I like that one.
That's a classic. He was also in what's the one? Had all of them in it.
Any given I know he
Original
was in-
Gangsters.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
know he was in Any Given Sunday.
Yes, he was.
too.
He was in that one
Yeah.
too. He was in that one too.
That's my movie.
Yeah. He was in a lot of.
Yeah, all the
He
old
was in a
heads
lot
was
of-
in that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was in a lot
Original
of.
Gangsters.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's a classic, man.
For,
It was.
what's his name?
Everybody was in it. You name it, man. Richard Roundtree was
Richard
in
Roundtree. That's what I like. Yeah, he remind me of Tony.
it. Ron O'Neal was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Fred the Hammer Williamson was in it.
Yeah,
And my free pass Pam Grier was in it. Yeah, buddy.
now, how many free passes do you? Okay, wait a minute. Let's stop the music. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. I thought it was Angela Bassett.
Well, yeah, her too.
Oh, it's two.
Yeah.
Okay, well let me up mine. Tomato, right? 50-50.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, it was a
But I ain't mad at you.
it is,
Mad at you
but
at all.
hey, man,
She's a beautiful woman.
yes, indeed. But back to Jim Brown, man, he was an amazing guy, man. About the only thing I really got to say about Jim Brown that I didn't like was when Colin Kaepernick was doing the kneeling. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
So that's the only drawback that I had with Jim Brown. But for the most part, man, I love the man to death. So rest in peace, Jim Brown. My
Amen.
prayers go out to his family,
Yes.
and hopefully, man, we'll see you on the other side, but not too soon, brother.
Amen.
And on another note, another one of my heroes had a birthday
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago. He would have been 98 years old if he was still alive.
Wow. And his words are so prolific these days. It's crazy. It's like, did he have a crystal ball back then? How did he?
That's a good
know?
question, man, because, the person I'm talking about, if you don't know already, is my number one childhood hero, Minister Malcolm X.
X.
Yeah, buddy, I gotta give him some props on that. So, yeah, He would have been 98 years old today, man.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cue up this video of him having something going on. He was having an interview with at Berkeley, and let people hear that for a little while.
The Muslims who have accepted the religion of Islam and follow the religious guidance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad have never bombed any churches, have never murdered any little girls, as was done in Birmingham, have never lynched anybody, have never at any time been guilty of initiating any aggressive acts of violence during the entire 33 years or more that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been teaching us. The charge of violence against us actually stems from the guilt complex that exists in the conscious and subconscious minds of most white people in this country. They know that they've been violent in their brutality against Negroes, and they feel that someday the Negro is going to wake up and try and do unto them as they have do unto the whites as the whites have done unto us. We aren't a violent group. We are taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to obey the law, to respect everyone who respects us. We're taught to display courtesy, to be polite. But we're also taught that at any time anyone in any way inflicts or seeks to inflict violence upon us, we are within our religious rights to retaliate in self-defense to the maximum degree of our ability. We never initiate any violence upon anyone, but if anyone attacks us, we reserve the right to defend ourselves. So to accuse us of being violent is like accusing a man who is being lynched, who is being hung on a tree, simply because he struggles vigorously against his lyncher. The victim is accused of violence, but the lyncher is never accused of violence. And I only point this out because the various racist groups that are set up in this country by whites and who have actually practiced violence against blacks for 400 years are never associated or identified or made synonymous with the term violence. But whites speak of Muslims almost synonymously with violence. Whenever Muslims are mentioned by them, violence is brought up, but it's not connected with any other group. This is a sort of a propaganda tactic, or what I would call psychological warfare, to in some way make the image of the Muslims in this country be a violent image rather than a religious image.
And that was Malcolm X.
Wow.
What's your favorite Malcolm X quote, babe?
Plymouth Rock didn't let. That's the one everybody know. It's the one that I can't quote it precisely or word by word, but it was when he had came back from. I think it's when he had came back from Africa. When he was kind of being exiled from the nation.
Yeah.
And he and Betty was talking, and it's pretty much like he was telling her, I'm just going, this is what I felt like he was telling her. He know what he was on this earth to do.
Right.
He has accepted it.
Yeah.
And he's just waiting for the outcome.
Yeah.
That has to be a strong woman
to accept that.
To accept that. I know she's your wife. She's supposed to be your 50-50, your ride or die. But this man has come to the conclusion that he know
he was going to die.
That he was going to die.
Right.
He couldn't call the day. He couldn't call the time. But he knew. You know how that must feel to know that you're doing good for the world, but in essence, by you doing good,
somebody's going to try to take your life.
Somebody's going to take your life.
Right.
And you had to tell it to your wife and leave her with, 3 kids? I think she was pregnant at the time or something.
Yeah, she was pregnant. At that time, she was pregnant.
With 3 kids and 1 on the way. I just couldn't even imagine. I just couldn't even imagine. But yeah, I can't remember what he said, but I just remember the look on her face. Oh, I haven't seen her, but I'm talking about the movie. How,
Right.
of course, Angela Bassett
Yes, indeed.
portrayed it, and it was just so her lips started quivering. Them tears. I was like, oh my god, how can you even? What do you say? Do you be like, oh, okay, then you want some water? Can I get you something to drink? What do you say after that? How do
There's nothing you can't say. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
there's nothing you can say.
You'll be proud of him. Don't get me wrong. You mighty proud of him. Because you've seen the work that he's done. He know what he is. He know how important he is to the world.
Yes.
But then to know that there is somebody out there gunning for him
Yeah.
every second of
J.
the
Edgar
day.
Hoover.
I just, but yeah, that's one of my, well, but of course, Plymouth Rock didn't land on that, but that's because Denzel said it, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, man. Come on,
But,
you know, I
but
ain't mad.
that part of the movie, the whole movie, like I said, I didn't see the movie until I met you, which was kind of profound.
Yeah.
Because I did go to 2 HBCUs.
Well, see, like I said, you know, and I've said this
Excuse
on
me.
the podcast on several occasions. There were people who didn't know who Malcolm X was until that movie came out.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In our Black history at my school, we spoke of him.
Yeah,
but
but you
not
didn't get into
about
detail.
him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I
spoke
understand
of him,
that.
but
I
not
understand
about
that.
him.
Yeah, but like you know, and I got something to say about HBCUs anyway, so I'll talk about that later on down the line. But my thing with Malcolm, my favorite Malcolm X quote is this one right here. He said this. He said, "The media is the most powerful entity on planet Earth. It has the ability to make the innocent look guilty and the guilty look innocent. Now that's power because they control the minds of the masses."
Oh, yeah.
How true is that?
Very. It's going on now. It's been going on forever.
Exactly. And that's what he was saying. And that's exactly what he was saying in that particular quote.
Well, was that really OJ in that Bronco driving that Bronco? Could he have killed
Was-
that girl?
Exactly. I mean, they
Good,
playing it.
you
I
know,
mean,
stuff like that. Like, did he really have his knee on George Floyd neck?
right.
Make you start questioning, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's absolutely he was basically saying is that be careful how you are portrayed, how a person is portrayed in the media because like it could go left really fast.
Your perception. And they try to twist your perception so many
Of
ways.
course.
It's
They try to say,
astounding.
they try to sway you. Just like the case we're going to talk about later on. You know, they try their best to sway you against the person that's actually being victimized.
Right.
And that's pretty much what Malcolm was saying. So, you know, and yeah, man, happy birthday, Malcolm.
Happy birthday,
So,
Brother X.
yes, indeed. Let's get this music cracking, baby. Uh-oh, wrong song. Not that one either.
Oh, Lord. You got that many in your playlist? Are these all produced by Reggio's
Of course.
Finest? Yeah.
There it goes. Let me turn that up a little bit. Yeah, that's it right there.
That's groovy. I like that.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, man, hopefully sometime next month I can start recording my features album. It's going to be featuring me on the beat and some other people on the microphone. I haven't decided whether or not I want to knock the rest off my microphone and get in on it. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. I got enough of them to do them. I got enough music on here, man, to do like 10 albums. But anyway. But
Can't wait for that.
oh yes. But anyway, how was your week, dear?
Blessed and highly favored to still be here. Made it through another week. Thank you, God.
Yeah,
Same old, same old.
I hear you.
I'll take it any day.
I hear you.
But yeah, just same old grinding and grinding.
Of course, pretty much the same here. I mean, I'm still on hiatus from my place of employment, but I'll get into that later on down the line. But anyway, y'all, that's pretty much it that we have. So let's go ahead and get to these books. Hold on, let me find my screen. There we go. Books every black person should read at least once in their lifetime. Now, being that this subject is about white people's fragile ass egos, all of these books that I got have to do with white people and their fragile ass egos. First one I got is called White Fragility. There you go.
Perfect word.
Yeah. And it pretty much talks about just that. It talks about how white people are very uncomfortable with discussing the issue of racism, even though they caused the problem. You know what I mean? That's just like I'll rob a bank, and I don't want to talk about it after I stole all your money.
Right.
That make any sense to anybody here? But that's pretty much what the book is all about. You know, it's called White Fragility. It's a good read. As a matter of fact, I've already read it. It's actually in the room right now. I got a bookmark in it. I was reading it again. Okay, yeah, get that book. It's a good one. It's a good page turner. Second one is called White Rage: The Unspoken Truth of Our Racial Divide, written by Carol Anderson. This one goes along the lines of one of the stories we're going to talk about later on today in the podcast. But yeah, it talks about how pissed off white folks are at the world because they think they're losing control. You know, fear of a black planet. All right. Okay. Next one is another good one called White Racism: A Psychohistory by Joel Colville. Now, Joel Colville wrote another book. I can't remember the name of it right now. That runs along the same lines, and this pretty much talks about how this one right here talks about the psychological aspect of racism, how it affects the person committing the racism and the person that's being victimized by the racism. Pretty good little read, man. People might want to check that out. It's a really good book. I mean, it's 300 pages, something like that. It's not a huge read. Not a big read at all. No. Anyway, good book. So check that out. Last but not least, and this one is my favorite one, The Heart of Whiteness. Confronting race, racism, and the ever so popular white privilege. Now, babe, we know good and damn well there's some people out there that are so privileged to be white.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes
they don't even recognize it.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And when I see a homeless white person, I just look at that. What a waste of white skin. But anyway, that's all the books that I got. That's it, y'all. You got a bold word, baby?
Well, in lieu of a bold word, I would like to speak of a racial injustice in history.
Okay.
White mob terrorizes 1,000 black residents inside Montgomery, Alabama church.
I've heard about this.
On May 21st, 1961, that'll be 62 years ago, more than 1,000 black residents and civil rights leaders, including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth, attended a service at Montgomery's First Baptist Church. The service, organized by the Reverend Ralph Abernathy, was planned to support an interracial group of civil rights activists known as the Freedom Riders.
Yes.
As the service took place, of course, alluding or kind of rolling with the topic of the show today, a white mob surrounded the church and vandalized parked cars. They became so aggressive that Dr. King called, at the time, U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy to assist them with getting the mob to back off or go away.
Right.
In that case, they got angry because he sent the marshals down there to dispel the riot, so they broke up into groups and then started fighting even harder. My thing is, why must they have to come and do that? We weren't doing anything. We were just congregating at a church to assist a group called the Freedom Riders. And the only thing the Freedom Riders, they began riding interstate buses to test Supreme Court decision that prohibited discrimination in interstate passenger travel.
Right.
That's something that they want to do for Southerners.
Yeah.
But the white people,
of course,
excuse me, I'm just telling, these are facts. This ain't no made up news. This is facts. They didn't like the fact that they were congregating, and they tried to come in, I guess, for lack of a better word, bust up the meeting. Yeah. I just want to give a shout out for that, because 62 years ago that happened. And I to this day, I think people still don't understand why that you get mobbed. We weren't doing anything. We were just, well, I'm not gonna say, well, yeah, because I am black.
Say we.
They was just congregating in a church. They weren't on no private property. They weren't like in the streets. They weren't on nobody's land. They was in a church. They had already been planned. The church knew it was gonna be there. Yeah. But And even to this day, if you think about it, they get involved. I think what we call them now, the Karens and the Kens.
Oh man, yeah.
They stick their nose in people's business where it shouldn't belong.
Right.
And now, these days, from some of the stories I've heard and some of the videos I've seen, people are fighting back.
Of course.
There are, like I said, when you stick your nose in something where it don't belong, whatever the consequences are, that's your ass.
Come on now, say it
What
again.
it is. So shout out to all the sisters and brothers that participated in that movement. And even, like I said, even though this happened in 1961, it is still so prevalent today.
Yes, it is.
Because it kind of goes into the story that we did last week, which we're going to speak on again today.
Yeah.
With the little quote-unquote vigilante that choked the young man out on the subway.
Right.
You know, so thank God we still fighting 62 years later, but hopefully it'll get better. Hopefully
We
it'll
hope,
get better.
man. That's all we can do at this point. Is just
Right.
hope everything gets better. But I don't think.
Yeah.
But things will get better if we keep doing what we're doing, and that's getting in these Karen's asses and these Ken's asses and telling them to get the hell out of our face. And yeah, man, that's what we gotta do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we gotta do.
But that is my homage to a bold black word.
I love that, man. See, this is, and
Yeah.
I keep saying this on this show, man. My wife came up with this segment, and I love it, man. I love it. I love it because it ain't got to be all masculinity up in here.
Right.
So, you know, because black women definitely contributed to everything that we have right now as well.
Oh, yeah. And they was
So.
part of this movement on
No,
May
yeah,
21st.
again, like I said, another one of my heroes, man. I got to put her out there, Harriet Tubman.
Oh, yeah.
That's my sister.
Definitely.
So, anyway, that's what we got so far. So, and, well, ready to get to it, babe?
Oh, yeah. These current events, hot topics, whatever you want to call it, every time I do this podcast, that's what I always say, come back, tune in, because you can hear some stuff they're going to be saying, what the?
Exactly.
Huh? Oh, my goodness, not again. So
Yeah, buddy.
we're there.
What you got, babe?
So let's start with this one that I just understand. I think they just kind of patronize our children now. Feds demand policy overhaul of Georgia Sheriff's Office after deputies deployed dogs to sweep for a quote-unquote some weed in an HBCU lacrosse player's bus during minor traffic stop. Damn! And for the records, no drugs were found.
What?
I mean, what did somebody, you know what, I'm thinking, did you read this story?
Yes, I did.
The other team got their ass whooped. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
They got their ass whooped. And somebody must call the police and try to say, I think they smoking weed. Like, we just can't win on our own. We got to be doped up on some kind of drugs to whoop, to win a game.
Well, see.
And to me, I think somebody tipped them off.
Well, see, here's the thing about that, and you know this to be true yourself. When somebody smokes weed, are they athletic?
That's the ones I've never smoked weed. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I personally just haven't done it because for A, I don't like the smell,
Right.
and B, I just never wanted to try it.
Yeah.
But the ones I've seen, no, they're so laid back, so like mellow.
Uh-huh.
And if they did play a sport, it wouldn't be nothing like lacrosse.
Exactly, because that's a very active sport.
So I don't know. Like I said, I think somebody got upset because they won and then tried to tip off the bus or try to accuse them of having drugs.
I
Or
agree.
that they smelled something. It's crazy.
I agree with you on that one, man. That's just sour grapes, right? That's all that is right there. And I ain't got the clip, but anyway, yeah, that's all
Again,
that
like
is.
I said, would y'all please stop messing with these babies? Even though they're in college, they're still babies.
Exactly. They're babies in our eyes.
You don't
so,
know
you
what
know.
kind of what I'm trying to think of, effect that might have on that young person's psyche,
Right.
and been accused of something that you haven't done, and then your dog's on there barking at them and slobbering everywhere. Oh my God.
They did that to scare them, man.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Also, you
That's
don't know
all
what
that
they
is.
did to
That's an
their
intimidation
psyche
thing.
either.
Yeah.
Cause they like,
That's all intimidation right there.
Where's
That's
the
all it is.
this ain't nothing but racial injustice.
Yeah.
And you're in school, you're trying to do the best you can. Even though you are going to a HBCU, it still has to be equality somewhere. So why I'm getting taught that, but I'm not shown that
Exactly.
by the one person that my mother and father has taught me. If you ever get in trouble, call the law.
For
And
what?
then here the law is not even treating me equally or fair.
My mother told me, I could be honest right now, and my mother, especially my stepdad, told me flat out, if you got to call the police, man, be careful.
See, that's
exactly what they told me.
Like they should be able to know
I agree with you on that.
when you call them, they gonna come.
They're supposed to come help you out.
Exactly, not the color of my skin or what somebody told them. Just come and help me and try to dilute the situation.
Right. That's what it's supposed to be.
I'm sorry, my voice is trying to leave again.
Can't have that.
But yeah, so shout out to these young people. Don't let them deter you. Keep winning. Keep doing what you're doing. It's just, I hate to put it like this, but this is just a part of the culture that we live in.
It's unfortunate too, man, because it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Here it is, 2023, and we're still going through the same old bullshit. Come on, man. What else you got, babe?
Now this is a feel good, so I'm going to be doing some good ones and some bad ones, some good ones, some bad ones. A couple of months ago, we did a story about the young man who was homeless, and he was killed by a police officer for jaywalking.
Yeah, I remember that story.
It was back in 2020.
Yeah, I remember that story.
His family finally got vindication. The California County has paid out $7.5 million to the family. I mean, I know they kept saying they want to go ahead and resolve it because before he got out of hand, and it's just going to be like a lose-lose situation. But still, this young man cannot come back.
No, he
this
can't.
young man is gone.
Nope.
And if they think 7.5 is enough, God bless them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's a settlement. If the family agree, I'm not gonna go against the family. If they agreed on that, that's good. But
if the family is cool with it,
hardly enough.
If the family is cool with it, then only thing I can do is just say, okay, if you're cool with it, that's fine.
But if they decided to say that was a good settlement, there's nothing we can say about that. So, good kudos to them. That I guess in a way that was justice for their family and justice for him.
Well, I wouldn't call it justice, but just a little bit of relief, just a little bit. I mean, because money can't bring anybody back. I have yet to see that happen.
Not at all.
I have yet to see that happen. Money can't bring anybody back from the dead.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, my heart goes out to that family, and I remember that story because we talked about this story at great length when we did it. So, yeah.
He was a homeless man. I'm like, God, he already homeless, then you gonna kill him?
I mean,
because he was jaywalking.
Exactly. I mean,
I still don't understand what is jaywalking.
Well, see, here's the thing about jaywalking. Jaywalking is one of those black laws. They created that law to throw black people in jail just for no damn reason whatsoever. Oh, you jaywalking. You could have, that's a crime. Get your ass in jail. That's what it is. It's just one of those little stupid laws that people never really pays attention to. Because people jaywalk all the time. Hell, I used to do it often.
Absolutely.
So, but it's just it's one of those crimes that if anybody's going to get hurt, it's going to be me. So
You're taking a
risk. Exactly. I'm taking that risk.
Yeah.
But like I said, they did that just to arrest more black people. That's all it was. It's an old law that really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They just did it to harass. They created that law literally to harass black people.
Right. So, rest in peace, sir, and congratulations to his family.
There you go.
Well, since today is Sunday, let's do this story right here.
Okay.
Quote unquote, Jesus is black. Right. Stained glass image of dark-skinned Jesus sparks discussion about race and black liberation.
Okay.
The owner of the nation's oldest depiction of Jesus Christ as a person of color in a stained glass is currently searching for a cultural institution that can not only preserve the window, but showcases publicly to the world for religious and academic study.
Okay.
I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, here's the thing about it.
I mean, they say in the Bible that God, her hair was made of wool, and since he was close to Africa, his skin was a little bit darker.
Right, exactly.
Everybody's interpretation. Right. But what, again, is the big deal?
There is no big deal. It's just the fact that, here's the thing about that. Now, if you want to, let's just leave religion out of it just for a minute. Let's leave the Bible out of it just for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about history here. In that particular part of the world where Jesus was at, there was only two groups of white people, Greeks and Romans. He wasn't a Greek, and he wasn't a Roman.
Right.
So what was he? He had some melanin in his skin somewhere, and on top of that, Jesus was a Hebrew, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, he was a Hebrew, and all the Hebrews at that time were black. Yeah, and he was an Essene Hebrew, and they were definitely black.
Right.
So, with that being said, he couldn't have been nothing else but a black man. So, I don't see what the problem is.
Me neither.
But the dominant society, white people, they think that just because somebody is depicting Jesus as what he actually looked like, that they're trying to take over the image of God like they did. That's the problem.
Yeah, because one of the young men who has a problem with, I'm just going to say he has a problem, quote unquote, he said that skin tones were nothing like the white Christ we usually see. True.
Yeah.
He's right. He's absolutely right. But that's a depiction of man.
Right.
The Bible teaches us, which I know was written by men as well,
Yeah.
is that his hair was made of wool and he had darker skin tones.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest piece of propaganda that was ever created was the depiction of Jesus by the Renaissance artists in Italy. Because when Michelangelo was doing the Sistine Chapels, they didn't really know what Jesus and the angels and the disciples looked like.
Right.
So he used models from a prison to come out and model for him so he could get an idea of what was out there.
And who's mostly in prison?
White people.
In prison?
No, now black people, but I'm talking about over there.
Oh, back then?
Back
Okay,
then, yeah.
yeah.
But right now it's us, black
Yeah.
people. More specifically, black men.
Well,
So
to me, I think this is a very good idea. But to cause so much controversy, where they trying to find, I guess more or less they trying to find somewhere for it to go, so I guess it won't be vandalized.
yeah,
Which
good
is
luck
ridiculous.
with that.
That's why I said that's ridiculous that you have to go to these extents to say, hey, can somebody take this and please don't vandalize it? You know, that's
Somebody's going to say, "Oops, I slipped on the rock."
right.
So
Crazy.
it's wild, man.
Now these next couple of stories, they all kind of tie into
The
show topic, and I don't even know where to start.
Go ahead.
Well, let's start there. Let's start here. Quote unquote, we are disgusted. Dozens of white nationalists march on National Mall to quote unquote reclaim America, nearly 100 years after KKK marched on Washington in the thousands. Last weekend, of course, here we go, the Texas-based white supremacist group Patriot Front took the streets of Washington, D.C. to rally in the nation's capital. About 150 people marched to the National Mall with a battle call to, quote-unquote, reclaim America, as counter-protesters shadowed them while denouncing their form of nationalism as hate, mongering, and bigotry disguised as patriotism. First of all, why did the tax dollars have to go to support this crap? Because they had people out there like patrol cars and all that out there. I don't understand that. Secondly, why is this such a big deal? Thirdly, who gives a damn? Fourthly, kick rocks. Fifthly, what say you? I'm done. It's like, why? Okay, this is what gets to me.
I'm listening.
If you strong in your conviction and you want to be known that you are all this and you agree with the KKK philosophy for all that, why your whole face covered?
Yeah.
Show your face.
Like my wife say it with your chest.
That's what I'm exactly. Exactly. Don't wear no hat, don't wear no gloves, don't wear no mask, don't wear no shade. Come out there pure ass naked.
Come on.
Walk them streets naked and proud as you can with a big old KKK rolled down the middle of your chest.
Come on, say it with your chest.
You know what I'm saying? So why you gotta cover yourself up? I stand strong in my conviction. How? You're covered up, sir.
Exactly.
Ma'am.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Well, let me just say this real quick. You say what say me? I can tell you right now. It's just white fear. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's white fear. They are scared that they are losing control of the country. Well, here's the question. If y'all losing control, who's gaining control? The damn sure ain't us.
Mexicans? Oh, Lord, I'm sorry.
They ain't even gaining control.
I don't know, though, because the ones that's here. And then the ones that's trying to fight to get here. Because when they get here, they get set up pretty nice.
Oh, most of them classify as white.
They get fed up. They want to say they move. They come in here one ethnicity and end up turning into another ethnicity. Mm-hmm. So that setup in between is pretty nice.
Well, like I said, and I said this last week on the podcast, man. where is Spain located? It's located in Europe. What's
North,
over there in
north.
Europe? White people. So I'm not surprised that a lot of them identify with their European heritage. That's just the way it is.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say that even though they put this out on every social platform, a lot of the quote unquote masses didn't show up like they did for January 6th. So I think somebody must have been thinking like, hey, you know what, if I show up for this one like they did in January, I might end up going to jail or I might not have a good outcome. So I might just chill at the house. Because I must admit, not too many showed up. It was like over thousands of them for January 6th, but it wasn't that many.
That's a whole
for
different
this
thing
one.
right there. Yeah. So, well, see,
even though they tried to do the same rhetoric,
Well, see, here's
that's
the thing
why they
about-
was marching.
Here's the thing about Patriot Front. Okay, Patriot Front has known white supremacist ties. You know,
Right-wing
they're clicked in
organization.
exactly. They're clicked in with the alt right, which means Richard Spencer is cool with them. Jared Taylor, he's cool with them. What's Trump's homeboy's name? Steve Bannon, he's cool with him, and a few other people they're cool with him as well. So they have really, really deep ties in white supremacy. And to call them white supremacists, you are calling them what they are, because that's their philosophy. That's why they think that they're losing control of the country. And again, if you're losing control of the country and you still control every goddamn thing, who's gaining control? It damn sure ain't black people.
Well, let me read this statement that the Washington, D.C. branch of the Anti-Defamation League released.
ACLU.
It said, "We are disgusted by the actions of Patriot Front today in D.C. This white supremacist group, known for its flash demonstration, marched on the National Mall carrying banners spewing their hateful rhetoric. Since 2019, Patriot Front has been responsible for the vast majority of white supremacist propaganda
Of course.
distributions in the United States.
Of course.
The group has neo-Nazi roots and has held 4 large demonstrations in several cities in 2022. We strongly condemn their presence and message of hate."
Okay. Well, yeah. The anti-defamation. I get it right. The Anti-Defamation League will definitely disavow any of their rhetoric.
But did they say anything like this about January 6th?
No.
I didn't hear it. I don't remember hearing them say
I
anything.
don't recall that either. Now,
guess
I'm
they
not
trying to
saying
get
they
on
did.
top
I
of
just
it
don't
this
remember
time.
it.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But shout out to them. I hope whatever they was trying to succeed. Patriot Front, modern day KKK.
That's pretty much what they are.
I hope they get whatever they're looking for. I hope whatever they will decide to march for, they sought after it. But keep marching.
I hope they get.
Just keep marching.
I hope they accomplish their mission.
Exactly. Just keep
I
marching
mean,
until you get it. Because
It is what it is,
some
man.
people will understand it. Some people just be like, "You just marching for nothing."
Exactly. I mean, for the most part, people don't really give a shit about that. To be honest with you.
Exactly. Not at all. It's all like, why? Bye. Adios, amigos.
Exactly, man. Get kick rocks, bro. Agitate the gravel under your feet.
Tap dance on out of here.
Hello.
Tap, 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 tap,
Tap
tap,
tap
tap.
tap tap it tap 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 baby.
All right, here's another one.
Let her clear her throat.
Quote unquote, should we be ashamed? A Kentucky history teacher suspended after allowing students to dress up as the first KKK Grand Wizard for quote unquote extra credit in class. I only have I just have one. What I want. I don't know if it's a phrase or a question. What the hell were you thinking?
Here's my question.
What the hell were you
I got a better
thinking?
question. I got a better question. Where'd they get the costume from?
That's in somebody's closet. What are you talking about? Back there with the hoods, the KK clay, the noose, the whip,
Come on, man.
the change, what's the thing you put around the slave?
The shackles.
The shackles is in their closet. It's in their closet.
See, that's what I'm getting at right there. That's my whole point. That is my whole point right there. That's my whole
How
point.
can you even think that this would be okay for extra credit?
Here's the thing.
She should be embarrassed.
Here's the thing. My friend Leslie Deloney, who was a frequent caller, I hit him up on today to see if he's going to call in. I think he has to work tonight, so he's not going to be called in. But anyway, him and another friend of mine, Rodney Morris, they decided to come to school for Halloween dressed up as Klan members.
And how long ago was this?
This was in 1988.
Wow, that's crazy.
At the time, we had a high school principal, little short Filipino man. I love that man to death. He was my favorite teacher. He was my history teacher, Mr. Victor Balakbagan. We call him Mr. Bow for short. And Mr. Bow saw them. He stopped them right dead in their tracks. Then he saw that black hand. He pulled the hood off and said, Leslie and Rodney, I should suspend y'all. But they didn't get suspended, though. He just told them to take the costumes off, and he did, and they did. So they thought it was funny. It was funny as hell at that time.
But see, it begs me the question, because the young man asked the teacher, can I come in and dress like an historic figure? And she was like, well, who is it going to be? He said, I'd like to come dress up as Nathan Bedford Forrest, the first Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard.
Exactly.
And she said, okay. So obviously she don't know her history. Or like I said,
she probably knew. She
talking about, you need something? I got what you need in my closet. She probably knew what it was and everything.
She probably did.
Well, they should be embarrassed for themselves, the school, the district, the country, everything. It's getting out of hand. And I hate when they come and get like, well, we didn't know. I mean, we didn't think it was a big deal.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Come on. You come to school with 35 to 40% black people dressed up as a Klan member.
Right.
Now, in my case, I mean, at that time, Hayworth was, I want to say, about 45, 50% black, give or take.
Mm-hmm. And what's the thing is, the student who came dressed up in the costume will not be reprimanded because he was, quote unquote, given permission.
Well, I'm kind of.
Well, somebody need to take some heat. Either the teacher needs to be suspended, or dock paid, something, because this is getting out of hand.
I agree with you on that one, man.
It's inappropriate.
I agree with you on that.
On every level.
I agree with you on that.
I'm sorry. And this is a middle school. I didn't think I said that, did I?
No, you didn't.
It's a middle school.
That's even worse.
Exactly. So that's like what, 11, 12, 13 years old?
Now, see,
and
here's my question. Mm-hmm. How did him being, let's say, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, mm-hmm. between the ages of 11 and 14, how did he know who the first Grand Wizard of the KKK was in the first damn place?
Hello.
Somebody told him that.
Obviously, it wasn't his teacher, but maybe she did.
Maybe she did tell him that. You never know.
That's probably where he got it from.
You never know.
Yep. But that's just, I don't know. It's like, why, what? Hello? What, ma'am? Excuse me?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, now this is a story you and I was looking at together when it came on. Well, let me go to this one first. All of you guys know, well, I know some of you might know that I try to watch The View every day.
Yes, she does.
I know people have their reservations about some of the ladies that's on there, but I enjoy watching The View. It gives you a different perspective on how people think, how 5 different women can look at the same situation with
and
5
different
viewpoints. Yeah. So on this particular episode, excuse me, the story I just did is another story where one of the students was recording the teacher saying the N-word, and she was putting emphasis on the R.
Okay. So
they reprimanded the student and suspended her because she shouldn't have used her cell phone. But the main question that Whoopi Goldberg brought up was that she remembered one time on the show, this has happened many years ago, which is something that's kind of like a repeat rhetoric, the N-word, why white people feel like they can't say it. And that's what Whoopi was trying to tell her. She said, you can say it. Now, the repercussions that follow afterwards, that's on you. But you can say it. So they having a hard, like Barbara Walters, having a hard time to understand why she can't say it.
Here's the deal.
You guys say it. Y'all say it.
Here's the deal. And you know I've said this on several times on this very same podcast. Mm-hmm. If you don't want white people to say that word, stop saying the word your damn self.
But I turn around and play devil's advocate and I say, why give it flavor like that? Just be like, oh, you calling me a nigga?
I see your point. And I see your point. You make a very, very valid point. Mm-hmm. Don't give that word any kind of power. Mm-mm. But we don't want to just like take the power away from the word. We want to destroy the whole word.
I understand.
And the best way to destroy a word is to not say it. But, and that's why I keep on trying to tell people, is it okay for white folks to say it? Hell no.
Mm-hmm. But then they turn around and spin it on you and ask you. So if you had this conversation with somebody at work and they hear you saying, "What's up, my nigga? You how your weekend go, my nigga?" Whatever, and then you heard them, so you be like, "Hold on, hold on, hold on. What are you saying?" He was like, "Well, I just heard you call Tony one."
Mm-hmm.
What would be your answer back to you when they ask you, "Well, you said it. Why can't I say it?"
Now I say because you ain't got the melanin to say it. And I mean that's the only comeback that I would have to say it, but I don't say the word anyway.
And that's what a lot of them say. They said, "So you mean to tell me I can't say it because I'm white?"
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But see, here's the
Because
thing about
it's
it.
been pronounced through the year history as a racist word. So
It
no,
is.
you
It's a
can't
racial
say
epithet.
it.
It's a racial epithet.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about it though, and I think that white people, I mean, a lot of people might not agree with what I'm about to say, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. White people should be allowed to say it. They invented the damn word.
But look how they invented the word on the premise. Look at the premise they invented it on.
Yeah, they invented the word on the premise.
It's a hate word.
It's a hateful word. I agree with you on that 100%. But again, which brings me back to my original point. If you don't want white folks to say it, don't say it yourself. That'll eliminate that problem.
I just feel like say it anyway. I mean, because what they're trying to do is make it such a bad word, and especially when another race say it to you, they call themselves trying to defeat you or hurt you.
Right.
So if you don't even let that phase you, I don't care if you do say it.
I see your point. Again,
And you know who just me and my little daily walk on this thing we call life. I hear, not trying to put nobody on blast, this is what I hear. I hear more Mexicans saying it than anything.
Man.
And I be looking at them like, oh really?
Man, let me tell you something.
Like, oh okay.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I come from Southeast Oklahoma. Born and raised. Proud of it. If you go to Southeast Oklahoma, you will hear more people from the Choctaw Nation calling themselves niggas than anything else. Oh, forget you, nigga. Oh, man, fuck that nigga. You know, nigga, please. You will hear that. I'm not making this up.
And it just flows so like a natural, like it's something they supposed to say. Like
Exactly.
Like it's nothing.
It's like it's nothing. But again, like I said, if you don't want other people to say it, black people, stop saying the word.
Right.
I mean, you know, shout out to Tariq Nasheed. I love Tariq Nasheed. He has an FBA conference coming up that I won't be able to go to this upcoming weekend.
Why?
And I hate that.
Why you
But
can't go?
we'll talk about that after the show.
Oh, okay.
But anyway.
I didn't even know what was coming up.
Yeah, I told you about it. But anyway.
You gotta remind me. You know my mind's short.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway. But at any rate, he has an FBA conference coming up. Now, I love Tariq Nasheed to death, but the only thing that I don't like about Tariq Nasheed is that he used the word nigga all the time. I hate that. But that's okay though. I respect his work. He done some good things. Hidden Colors is off the chain. I love those movies. And you haven't seen American Maroon yet. You need to see that. It's a good one.
That's his latest one.
That's his latest one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about Tariq is that he used the N-word frequently, and and that's okay though, and that doesn't negate his work. I mean, his work is phenomenal. I love Tariq Nasheed, a respected brother. Shout out to Tariq. But anyway, again, that brings me back to my original point. If you don't want white people to say it, don't say it yourself.
Well, maybe Tariq is putting it like I just said. Maybe he said it because he feel like that is nothing to saying it.
Well, see,
like
he's
not giving it power.
Well, see, his thing is this right here. He uses the word in the sense that, he uses the N-word for people, as yes, I'm a nigga because I'm a victim of white supremacy. I see his point.
Now, is he calling people niggas or he just using it in retrospect?
He just uses it, in casual conversation.
Okay.
In casual conversation, if I'm talking to him and say, "What's up, my nigga?" Playing something, he's using casual conversation.
So when you explain something that's stupid, like this nigga here,
exactly,
something like
precisely.
that.
I mean, he uses it in casual conversation. So, but that's the only thing I don't like about that I don't like that Tariq does. Everything else, I love his work. Because we still got to go to LA and go to the Hidden History Museum. We definitely got to do that.
Well, like I said, don't give it power, and I agree with Whoopi. Like, you can say it. It might affect some people might not even care. That some people might lay you out.
Here's the thing about
even like I said, I don't condone violence, but especially if you're saying it like in a negative undertone, Just wait for
Well, see,
the
here's
fallout.
Here's the thing about Barbara Walters. This is what people don't know about Miss Barbara Walters. Number one, Barbara Walters cheated on her husband with a black man.
So she wrote the soul pole with many.
Come on now.
Many.
Come on now.
Many black men.
Come on now.
And she has personally said it out her own mouth.
Yeah.
And it's in her book.
It's in her book.
Her
yeah.
memoir.
Oh,
so,
yeah, exactly. I'm not going to put
you know what? If
nobody's
she
name.
did say it, be like, okay. Because know what you're borrowing.
Yeah, she done had that soul pole. So, but anyway, and on top of that, here's the thing about Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters interviewed Louis Farrakhan at one point. And when she interviewed Louis Farrakhan, her ratings went through the roof. Arsenio Hall had Louis Farrakhan on his show. He lost his damn show right after that.
Oh yeah. But look at the media I guess like retort, because who she is,
exactly,
who others she's interviewed,
and that's what I'm getting at.
But see, when a black man interview another black man like that,
you're guilty by association.
Exactly. Even though Arsenio probably had the same retrospect of try to talk to him, probably asked the same questions that Barbara asked.
Yeah, from a black man's perspective.
But it's just that it was who was asking and who was sitting on the couch.
There you go.
And that's what they look at.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. But like I said, you want to say it, good luck.
I mean, I would tell anybody.
Or just say it, be like, okay. But I just hate when they always say, why can't I? Go do your history on the word and maybe you can understand.
Well,
do
see,
the history on the word. Or
exactly.
like feel like me, don't give it no power.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's validity to that. Don't give the word any power. I get that perspective. I get that rhetoric. I really do. I understand it 100%. If you don't give it any power, it won't affect you.
But who's a rapper? But don't push me.
Because I'm close to that edge. That's
edge.
Melly Mel.
Don't push it.
That's Melly Mel.
Okay, here's another one. Publicly sponsoring the lynching. As we spoke of last week on the podcast, by now I'm pretty sure you guys all heard about the ex-Marine who choked the homeless black guy on the subway in Manhattan. His law office has set up a GoFundMe account for his legal expenses. And the young man named who did the choking is Daniel Penny.
What?
And so far, that account has $2.04 million in it.
Damn.
And then, on top of that, there are some congressmen and women
that's
who
backing him
feel
up.
like that he should be pardoned for his actions because he is a Marine, an ex-Marine, who was doing his civic duty.
Damn. Now, I already know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you. If that was a black Marine that choked out a homeless white man, what do you think would happen to him?
He'll be in Sing Sing. Ain't that the worst jail in the world? The worst prison, the one that sit out on the water.
That's the one.
Pelican Bay or whatever
Pelican's
it is.
Bay.
He'll be there. He wouldn't even have to go to trial.
There would be no trial.
He already be there in solitary confinement.
Go straight to jail. Do not pass go.
Exactly.
Do not collect $200.
Exactly. So I don't even know why this is such a... It was a pitiful mess when it happened, but to know that... excuse me, I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do with their coins.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what I do with my coins. But if these people want to feel like they want to contribute to this GoFundMe to assist this young man with his legal expenses, go right
Knock
ahead.
yourself out. Don't nobody care.
But did they not see the same video I saw?
I did.
Or maybe they see with a different perspective than I did. Again, this is a Ken who put his nose where it shouldn't have belonged.
Exactly.
Because he didn't have to want to step up and do anything. Because I personally feel like this black man was not doing anything wrong.
He wasn't.
He was venting out loud, of course.
He was venting,
He was
yeah.
speaking out loud, of course.
Right.
He hadn't touched anybody. He hadn't hit anybody. He wanted nobody's space,
Right.
more or less.
Yeah.
So why is this young man in the ground?
Good question.
So if you want to spend your money on this to help this young man, I mean, some people say it's a twofold situation. Like, you know, it kind of got out of hand. Maybe he went too long or whatever. Maybe he didn't know his. I heard all kind of.
I heard all kinds of bullshit excuses. Yeah.
The pardon part. So you mean to tell me, yes, he was a vigilante. He caught himself trying to protect himself and other passengers on the subway.
But nobody was under attack.
The young man is dead. So this man shouldn't get anything. So he should pretty much be praised as a hero.
Here's the thing.
Is that what I'm hearing?
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Here's the deal.
So hero kill innocent people.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal right here. That whole situation should not have gone as far as it did.
Right.
Because number one, brother man was just venting. He was just pissed off. He was upset that he was hungry. That's all that was.
Hungry
He wasn't bothering anybody. He didn't put his hands on anybody like you said.
Not at all.
He was just venting. That's all he was doing. Nothing more, nothing less. And the gall of white people, and I can pretty much guarantee you that 95 to 98% of those people that are contributing to this man's GoFundMe are white people. I can promise you that. And I've heard all kinds of bullshit excuses as to why he was killed. They were pulling up stuff from his past, talking about he had been arrested before. He had been arrested for touching a little boy, some shit like that.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So, but here's my whole deal. If you remember, they did the same thing with George Floyd. They started bringing up his criminal past, and that brings me back to my Malcolm X quote, the one that I quoted earlier. The media can make the innocent look guilty and the guilty look innocent, and that's exactly what's going on right here. People are trying their best to justify that.
And like my grandmother always said, your past is your past.
Exactly.
If you done things in your life to try to correct that past, should nobody keep them, but they will.
Oh yeah, they'll bring it up in a minute.
They'll bring it up in your face.
They will throw it up in your face.
But you have to be strong enough to know, you know what, it is what it is. But this baby didn't have a chance because this vigilante snuck him from behind.
Yeah.
And put the chokehold on him.
Yeah, like a little bitch.
Yeah. So I feel sorry for the young man who passed away, but I'm torn.
I feel for his family.
I'm torn on Mr. Penny and this $2 million free fall that he's finna get from other Americans.
On. Yeah.
And like I said, I can't tell nobody how they think or who they want to support, but y'all not even look at the fact that it's another homeless man that's gone.
Right.
And this man is pretty much being treated like a good Samaritan hero.
Yeah.
So I'm torn on this story, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's excuse me. I'm speechless, man. I don't know what to say about that situation.
I know it's like you be torn. You be like, I get it, because I won't want nobody coming to me, talking to me. But then again, like I said,
he wasn't
you don't know.
Anybody.
That's why I said you don't know. This man could have been delirious, because delirium do come upon you when you're hungry.
Right.
So I guess people, like I've said this on this show several times, we really don't have empathy like we used to for people. We don't. The first time somebody says something out the way, we guard up. We protect ourselves. You don't try to come to and be like, you know what, this person possibly is having a bad day, or let me look at my purse and see if I have some lifesavers or something, because he pronounced to y'all what was going on. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. He didn't come to tell me, I got a bomb, I'm gonna kill everybody on this, but he didn't say nothing like that.
No, he didn't. He wasn't a threat at all.
So I'm like, where did it come into for him stating his state of mind at that moment? Now he's gone. That's where I'm torn on. That's the part I'm torn on.
Right.
So next story, we talked on Mr. DeSantis last show, but here's another story. It came out today, if you guys haven't heard, but the NAACP is issuing travel warnings in Florida that the state has become hostile to Black Americans. Because of Ron DeSantis and all his antics of trying to eliminate quote unquote Black people and take Black things out the state, out the school, it's becoming kind of disgusting, because he's to me, he's giving kind of like what's the guy with a dictator. He's giving me dictator vibes. Like, well, if you come to Florida, you can't do this. If you come to Florida, we're going to do this. We're going to take this out, and we're going to remove, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but he has decided to remove copies about George Floyd and Colin Kaepernick from all the textbooks. He called himself trying to, quote unquote, stop the indoctrination of children.
What?
First of all, let's start with Colin. I loved what Colin did,
Right.
to me, that would show a child to speak up for what you believe in.
Right.
Like I be trying to tell my nieces, don't be a follower,
Be a
a
leader.
leader. Now, as far as whatever his reservations about George Floyd, that was an innocent man who went into a store who was, like you said, the media, accused of passing a fake $20 bill.
I don't think he knew it was fake.
So why is that even, why this man did? So how is that even putting indoctrination on children? What did he do?
Exactly.
Now you talking about you gonna do that about the police officer who did it? Okay, I can see that. But George Floyd didn't do anything. And again, you bringing up his past. That was his past. What did that man do that's going to indoctrinate children to end up his demise? So, and then again, let me say this so I can be funny. Now you know all us black people like to go down to Miami.
Yep.
So what? The NAACP has issued this that it is becoming unsafe for black people to go to Florida. That is said. This man's rhetoric is so damaging that a national organization like the NAACP is trying to warn people more or less. I don't know, like I said, I might be reading this story wrong, but it's like if you go, you might not come back home. Or if you go, you might be bombarded with some stuff that you might need a legal fund for.
Here's the thing about Ron DeClantis.
Which is crazy.
Here's the thing about Ron DeClantis. And yes, I said DeClantis. That's exactly what he is.
Amen.
He's a damn Klan member. I don't give a fuck what nobody
So I
says.
said he becoming kind of,
Okay.
he's feeling himself real
Okay.
bad.
Okay. Here's the thing about him. First thing he did, well, I can't recall the first thing he did, but he's done so much stuff that was just flat out stupid. It's ridiculous.
Ban books.
He's banned books, which you should
The
never ever ban
Divine
a book.
Nine.
Yeah. Abortions. What else?
Oh God, I was just reading about him the other day. Let's put it like this: some of the people who live in Florida is trying to leave. He's done so much.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mass exodus of
And
Florida,
then
man.
watch out this week as well. Just a little tidbit: he and the other guy is supposed to announce their run for presidency this week.
Well, yeah. It's. I mean, here's the thing about Ron DeSantis, man. It's Republicans, hardcore Republicans that don't like his ass.
Well, somebody's footing this for this man to keep going the way he going.
I agree.
Somebody's supporting
I agree with
him.
you on that. I agree with you on that. That's somebody supporting it. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I say it to say this. I talked about this last week on last week's podcast. The Green Books. Okay, that Green Book had a list of every place it was for traveling black people where that would be safe to go.
Right.
Hotels, restaurants, whatever, bars. So you could be halfway safe. It's black. In other words, the Green Book has stuff that was black friendly inside those Green Books. Okay. Now, it's going to go back to that in the state of Florida. It's going to have spaces in there where black people can and can't go. That's number one. And number two, the sundown towns are going to come back in the state of Florida if they're not already there. Okay. So, and as far as banning
so you mean
books,
to tell me, not to cut you off, you mean to tell me that these people are so quote unquote threatened
yep,
that you're going to go to antics like that?
yep.
And what is that going to prove? Don't you think that's
Nothing.
going to cause chaos?
That's exactly what it's going to do. That's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to be detrimental to their development.
And who's going to benefit from that?
Nobody.
There's going to be a lot of bloodshed in the street.
Pretty much. And nobody wins when that happens.
Way to go.
Nobody wins when that happens. But then again, you got to think about the white supremacist mind state. They believe in scorched earth. They believe if I can't have it, nobody can.
But you already losing your culture. So how many people you think going to be on your side?
They don't
supporting
care.
you?
They don't care. It's not logical.
Okay.
Logic goes out the window when it comes to a
I
war.
just been saying there's no logic in this at all.
Yeah, it goes completely out the window.
At all.
And I mentioned this before last week on the show too. Speaking of banning books and all that. One of my favorite books, excuse me, that I read back in the day is called Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Okay, let me give everybody the premise of this book right here. Okay, it's a post-apocalyptic world. And the government pretty much controls everything that you do. They control your education. Pretty much like it is now, but except they went to the extreme by burning any books that's not government approved. So they had these people out called firemen. And what they would do is they would go into your house, and whatever books you had that wasn't government approved, they would take them out and burn them, set them on fire. Hence the name firemen. Okay, so and 451 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the heat point. That's the heat index at which paper starts to burn. That's why the book is called Fahrenheit 451. So anyway. As a matter of fact, there was a couple of movies about that.
Yeah.
One of them was done a while back, and Michael B. Jordan played in the most recent one. People need to check that out. It's actually pretty good. But that's kind of like what the state of Florida is starting to turn into, in my personal opinion. I mean, this is fascism at its finest right here. That's exactly what this is. You're controlling what people can and can't learn. You're controlling what people can and can't do with their own bodies. You're controlling every single aspect of this person's life. That's fascism.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, and you can quote me on this, everybody out there, because this is on the internet. Ron DeSantis is a fascist. He's a racist, arrogant fascist. That's what he is.
He's a dictator too. How can you dictate? Take this out the books.
Yeah, he's a
take this
fascist
book
dictator.
out the library
Right.
shelf. Take this out. Go somewhere else to have an abortion. I don't want this in the Divine Eye. I don't want this in the HBCU. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
It's like that. Unfortunately.
And that's what I'm saying. So going this route and doing all this stupidity is going to get you where? What are you doing this for? What is your end game here?
That's a good question.
You're trying to help
that.
children. How are you helping children? To me, you're trying to eliminate history.
You're
And in your
hindering
case,
them.
why are you trying to eliminate history for?
You're hindering their learning process is what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. You're hindering the learning process.
Well, here's another idiot, and I meant it. And then just to take us into the show topic, you and I saw this on the news today. I hope did you get the
I got the video clip.
Okay, quote unquote, I feel threatened by him. Congress Karen Marjorie Taylor. Marjorie Taylor Green accuses Jamal Bowen of quote unquote aggressive ambush in front of Capitol over George Santos. If you guys doesn't know, George Santos is the guy who pretty much lied his way into Congress. He said he did this, he did that, and he ain't done nothing. And so now here he's going to go to court on 13 counts of misleading the government, misleading the state he represented, blah, 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 blah. But I saw the video. And it's kind of like what they always said about black women. You know, we raise our voice too high. If we move our neck too fast, if we point our fingers too far, we're considered an angry black woman.
Yeah.
And so this man was just pretty much telling her, what you're saying is not right. You're in, you know, she took it like he was speaking to her aggressively, and you know, of course, she did the crocodile tears.
Of course.
And I felt, and I don't know, and this is why. But to me, as a black woman, to me, this man wasn't doing anything that any normal conversation, if she was having with a white co-worker
right,
would have done. And to me, by her actions, by her statement, like you just said, the media was twisted. She done put a bullet.
A big old bullseye on his back.
A bullseye on his back.
Right.
And he's becoming a target now.
Yeah, he
because
is.
of him and his co-worker exchanging rhetoric about a situation that's going on in the House floor.
This is what I
in
got.
Congress.
This is what I got as far as the video clip. I got the stupid shit that she said.
Okay.
When he called her a white supremacist.
It's true. That's been known.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
We
fact.
know that because didn't she hang out with damn. She went to something for a white supremacist group.
QAnon?
Something like that. I forgot what it was. But anyway, it was a white supremacist group that she was right. That she was like one of the lead speakers. So, you know, birds of a feather, man. But anyway, I got the part where she was talking about the whole white supremacist thing. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get that played.
What concerns me about Jamal Bowman is he has a history of aggression. What's on video is Jamal Bowman shouting at the top of his lungs, cursing, calling me a white supremacist, which I take great offense to. That is like calling a person of color the N-word, which should never happen. Calling me a white supremacist is equal to that. And I am concerned about it. I feel threatened by him.
All right, that was it. I mean, she was saying that being called the white supremacist is like calling a black person the N-word.
No, don't even correlate. Well, this is the one I saw her do too. She did this on a news conference. She had an actual news conference.
I remember that.
And she said, what concerns me about Jamal Bowman is he has a history of aggression, not just towards other, but towards me in particular. And I'm very concerned about it. She said that she was holding a news conference so she can announce she is introducing articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden. Wrong. And then she goes on to say, but I will tell you what's on video. Jamal Bowman shouting at the top of his lungs, cursing, calling me a horrible name, calling me a white supremacist, which I take great offense to. But did she say what she said to him?
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing about it.
Say what you said to him, ma'am.
Well, see,
he just said walk up to you and start doing that on purpose, not out the blue.
Well, see, that's just it.
Come on.
That's how they operate. That's exactly how they operate.
N-word. That has nothing to do with that. Not at all.
Being called the white supremacist means that you have white supremacist views. Now, you calling somebody a nigga, that's a racial epithet.
Exactly.
You know, being called a white supremacist is not a racist epithet. If you're a white supremacist, you're a white supremacist, plain and simple.
That's people picking up on your character and your personality.
Exactly.
And your affiliation.
But here's the thing
about
her.
A nigga is something totally different.
Exactly.
I don't know if you're a nigga or not by looking at you. I mean,
exactly.
You know.
I mean, here's the thing about that, though. She done said a whole bunch of stupid shit.
She's very stupid. That's why I can't believe she's still in the Congress this long.
Exactly. I think she needs to be on medication because she said that the forest fires in California were caused by a laser beam from space that was controlled by Jews. And she said something else stupid. I can't remember it right now, but it was so stupid I just had to laugh. So, but yeah, she ain't, that's not the first time she said something stupid like that. So, I'm not surprised that she did say something like that.
But after this, she just been saying so much about this. Been saying so much about this man. Like, we need to watch him. He could be playing for the other team. He has quote unquote physical mannerisms, like he'll put his hands on somebody. That's damaging that man's character. If I was her, I would go try to get me a Benjamin Crump or somebody, and I'll sue the hell out of her.
Exactly.
For defamation of character.
Cause they have a case.
Surely would.
You would definitely have a case.
So this is not no hearsay. She's on a national platform saying this about this man.
Exactly.
It's reckless and it's damaging. You know what I'm saying? Because this man don't work hard to become in the same position that you're in, and because he don't agree with you or that he got the best of you in a conversation, now he's capable of physical damage.
But like I said, man, see, it's okay. You remember that one time when this skinny ass white woman stuck her finger in President Obama's face? You remember that? Nothing happened to her. Nobody said a word.
It never does.
Nobody said a word. As a matter of fact, she got praised for it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
See, it's okay for somebody to do that shit to a black person, but God forbid a black man raise his voice to a white woman.
I feel threatened. I was so scared.
Exactly. They start putting the crocodile tears and every damn thing out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Come on.
Get out of here.
Is that it? That's all you got?
Yeah. That's all the bull I have in currently. But like I said, tune in every week, guys, because it's some stuff that's going on. You can't believe people are actually doing this. You can't believe that this is what we are living in now in this here United States of America. But it's out there.
Yep, it's out there, man.
It's out there full blast.
It is out there. So, but anyway, man.
Now on to the show topic:
Fear
of a Black Planet.
Fear of a Black Planet. Yeah. Let me just say this real quick and give somebody history on that title. The title came from an old Public Enemy album, Fear of a Black Planet. My second favorite Public Enemy album, Fear of a Black Planet. My first one is It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. But anyway, and the reason why I call it Fear of a Black Planet is because of the fact that Patriot Front decided they wanted to march on Washington, like we said earlier, so they could get so that white people can gain back control of the country. In other words, they're scared that they're losing their power. So, and we said this on several occasions on this very podcast, man, that white people's numbers are dwindling here in the United States. They really are.
Yeah.
You know, you got a whole lot of white women riding that soul pole, and the white men ain't liking it.
I told you I did that story. They said by the year 2030
20
or
something,
2032,
yeah,
they will be considered a minority.
Yeah, they'll be considered a minority in the United States.
And I believe that.
Yeah, I believe that too.
I truly believe that.
I believe that too, because
and that's why all this stupid rhetoric is coming out now.
Exactly.
DeSantis.
Yeah, because of all this. Yeah, because of all the women and men dipping inside. You got men out there dipping inside the black forest. And you got white women riding a soul pole. So guess what's going to happen to them babies?
One drop of blood.
That's all it takes.
That's all it is.
That's all it takes. And that's the problem right now. They're scared to lose the control of the country.
And what? How can you prevent it? You can't prevent it because you can't help who you love. You can't help it. You want to get out there and do a little tasting. You know what I'm saying? So what are you supposed to do?
Exactly. You can't do anything about
scrap
that.
it up. That's what you're saying. Scrap it up. Okay, scrap it up, and then what?
Yeah, you still gonna get some.
Exactly.
So I mean, come on.
Everybody knows scrap it up, but it's still happening.
Yeah, it's still happening.
And a lot of these white men are raising black children.
Thank you.
I think that's probably what the problem is.
That's exactly it.
You mean tell me you know better than been with Jamal? And now I gotta raise Jamal's baby? I'm a laughing stock of the community. And that's why all this rhetoric is coming. Take them out the books. Take them. They can't come to Florida. We don't want them here. You know.
Yeah, it's deep, man. It gets pretty deep. It gets very deep. It gets very deep.
It's sickening. Because like I said, we said before, shout out to Brother X and Malcolm and Rosa and all the others who fought for us to have so many same perspective on life as quote unquote them.
Yeah.
And now here we are, many years later, they're trying to bring us right back to what all they was fighting for.
That's exactly
because they feel like they're like this show topic, they are losing something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they have a fear that we're about to take over. If it happens, it happens. You know, maybe I wrote this down. Let me read what I wrote down. I said that white people fear for black people taking over the planet is a fear of retaliation of slavery. You said something like that too.
That's exactly
what I
just
just put slavery on the end of it.
That's exactly what it is.
They think we're going to put them in the cotton fields.
That's exactly it. They are scared that the same thing that they did to us that we're going to do to them, which is not true. Like I said
before, if you put a white person or a black person in a similar situation, white people gonna go in there fight, but a black person gonna try to come in so we both can win. We are such a forgiving culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly
we
it.
don't ever try to hurt nobody. We try to get along with everybody, but white people like, well, forget it. We gonna do what we gotta do to take care of our own.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. How are we on the same playing field, but our directors are totally different mindsets?
Yeah.
So I don't think we would, even if we do take over and we become the majority, I don't think we'll send anybody to slavery.
No.
I really don't.
No.
I could be wrong.
No.
But I don't think we would.
You might have a few people that might think about doing that, but for the most part, black people are very benevolent people. We always have been. Our benevolence is what got us in trouble in the first damn place. That's the problem. Too forgiving, and that's the problem. We're very, very forgiving, because we're spiritual beings by nature. That's just how we are.
We are. We. For lack of better words, shout out to my preacher today. We had a mental health class at church today, very informative, and he said that we as black people, we was raised to forgive and forget.
Yeah.
We weren't raised to have hatred in our heart.
Right.
We weren't raised to retaliate after every little thing. We was raised to find a solution first.
There you go.
And then if you just keep pushing me, now I'm trying to explain to you, I'm close to the edge. But then when I get to that edge, I'm not just gonna let you push me out there. I'm gonna have to fight or flight. And we come out fighting.
Right.
And in the end, we end up winning. And then you end up feeling like you done got beat up. Now you're going to start lying, talking about I raped you and I did all this to make it seem like it's good in your favor.
Right.
Which again, here we are having a good heart, and that whole scenario been flipped on us.
Yep.
And we end up losing in the end.
Yep.
Well, we went in the beginning trying to do the best that we can do to make it work for both of us.
There you go.
And that's just how we were raised.
Yeah, that's just how we are in general.
That's how we are in general.
Yeah, that's just our nature. That's the black man's nature. We're very benevolent people. Black people. That's not just here in the United States, but everywhere.
But you know what? I don't know these young people these days.
Well, see, that's a whole different animal right there. That's a whole different scenario. There are exceptions to every rule.
They don't even like their own.
They don't like themselves. So
exactly.
So
they don't like themselves. Not speaking of all, but the ones I come across.
Right. Exactly.
Be like, okay.
So, but as a whole, black people are very benevolent. We always have that,
of course,
and that's worldwide. That's a worldwide thing. You know, we're very forgiving. We're very benevolent, and to be honest with you, I'm the kind of person that if you put your hands on me, you're gonna get hit back. Plain and simple.
Fight or flight.
You know, that's just the way I am. That's how I was raised. You know, so I'm not gonna. Oh, if you hit me and break my jaw, I'm not gonna forgive you for breaking my jaw. I'm coming out fighting. I'm swinging, but that's just me. But as far as the subject matter is concerned, Fear for Black Planet, that was a book written a while back in the 60s, I think. I have to look it up, called Planet of the Apes. That's an allegory for black people taking over. That really is. I mean, if you actually think about that and actually read the book, I mean, the movies that they did from those books, they pale in comparison to what the book was talking about. They only scratched the surface of what the book was about. So, but the book was basically an allegory of black people taking over the planet. And with that said, could it happen and us take over the planet and be the rulers that we are? It could happen. It's very possible.
Okay.
But the thing of it is, we wouldn't be as ruthless as them, because there's nobody more ruthless than an evil white person.
We want everybody to be on the same
plane. Yeah, we want everybody. If I'm eating, I want everybody else to eat too.
Exactly. Now you're gonna have some of them crabs in the barrel.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have some of those like that, man.
Gonna be like, come on, man, let me pull you up by your bootstrap because I'm trying to pull myself up.
Yeah, let me hook you up. Yeah, let me help you out. Let me help you out. And that's and the problem with white people, and like I said before, and just like I said earlier, the problem with white people is that they think that if we're in quote unquote control, they would do the same thing to them that they did to us, which is not true.
No,
that's not true at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
So that's just how they feel.
Now I do, and I have heard of stories. Like it's I forgot what I was looking at, but a lot of celebrities say that, you know, when they get their little money, they get their little mansion, they hire white staff.
Yeah.
Because of what their ancestors did. You know, 'cause my grandmother used to clean houses.
Yeah.
My great-grandmother, so they hire white people to clean their houses.
Right.
You know, so I just see that as a, you know, like a trade-off or whatever.
That's different though.
But as far as across the general,
across the board,
yeah, I don't think we would.
That's not going to happen.
I really don't. And that's sad that we feel after all we've been through, after all our ancestors went through, what we're still going through now, we would have that kind of empathy, for lack of better words, toward them that we don't even think they would even consider having toward us.
Well, see, the thing of it is, and the reason why that is because of this right here. We know what happened back then. We wouldn't want to subject anybody else to that.
They'll wear just like we are.
Well,
so how can we have empathy and they don't?
That brings me to another book that I read a while back called The Iceman Inheritance by Michael Chang. What's his name? I forgot his last name that quick. Anyway, written by a white guy. A white guy wrote this book. He said the way white people think is because of the environment they come from. They come from Europe. At one point in time, Europe was a big old ice box. Food was scarce. They had to do what they had to do to eat. And sometimes they ate other people. And it was some food. If it was some food available, they would kill the people. They would kill each other trying to get to that particular food. That's how they think. Whatever they want, they will hurt. They will destroy anybody in their way to get what they want. Instead of them saying, "Hey, man, let's make a deal."
So every man for himself.
Right, exactly. It's that whole survival of the fittest. That's a white person's concept. You know what I mean? I mean, and like I said, with black people, just like when the first black man hit the shores of Africa, the black people welcomed him with open arms and said, "Hey, come on,
that's what I was just going to say. How can they have that type of mentality? But you telling us, pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Shouldn't you be doing the same thing?
Well, here's the thing about that.
Why are you trying to try to set the rope on fire so I can't reach for the rope?
Hello?
Pulling it up is every time I jump up forward, but then you telling me to pull myself up by my bootstraps.
Yeah, and how can I pull the
Really?
bootstraps up if you keep on taking the boots?
Exactly. I don't get that.
And that whole rising tide lifts all boats. Well, it's kind of hard for your boat to rise if your boat got a hole in the hull.
Exactly.
So
That I didn't know was there.
Exactly. I didn't know it was there in the first damn place. Either that somebody put it there.
Exactly.
So
On purpose.
exactly. So there's that. But that's how they think. They have that whole. It's all about me. I'm gonna get mine.
Me.
Yeah, yeah. It's that narcissism that they have, and a lot of them have it too.
That's sad.
And like I said, when the first white people set foot on the shores of Africa, black people welcomed them with open arms. Say, "Hey, we got plenty. Here you go. Take this right here." But the white man started thinking, you know what? They just gave this to us freely. We could take this over right here.
Take it over. Why? Or come in and because of course, we really didn't have the financial means, and since they had a financial, they go out and buy all the patents and just gonna be like, well, I created this, I'm gonna take it over.
Thomas Edison, he was the biggest thief of patents. Thomas Edison didn't create shit. He didn't create anything. He
but
had a
he's
team
the
of
godfather considered in the textbooks of creating damn near everything on the world.
Pretty much. The only reason why the light
Everything in the
bulb,
world.
the light bulb right there, that we're looking at right now. Louis Latimer, a black man, created that. He made that filament last a whole lot longer
But
than what
what's
he was
in
doing.
the books?
Thomas Edison. Because he
Got a whole light bulb at Edison.
exactly
Whole company
a
named after him.
whole thing named after him because he's credited with that because he went to the patent office because at that time black people couldn't file for
They
patents.
couldn't. And if they did, they probably make them so astronomical high
Exactly.
that they couldn't afford to buy it.
Exactly. So that's the problem, and that's the deal right there.
Sad. So, I mean, with all that said, why? It can't be race bound only. Why do you feel that there's such a fear? Because I know they say we taking over sports and we have bigger athletic bodies. That's the same rate they use as a slave. I think you were saying about that. They try to get the one that's buck, the big buck, and try to get him
the big
to,
slave bucks,
have children and work in the fields and all that.
Exactly.
So they have that mentality back then. Seems like they still have that mentality now.
They do.
So with that being said, if we're taking over everything, so should you have something more than fear? Should you have come across something and be like, well, if they're doing this, what can we counterpart? Why don't we just try working together?
That's too much like right because they would have
And
competition.
why is that? Why? There's no competition. We're working together.
Not in their eyes.
See,
that's just how they think. I'm telling you, that's how they think because you got to think about this for a second. It was just. How long did it take for black people to be able to learn how to read and write legally? Because for the longest time it was illegal for a black person to know how to read and write.
Yeah, and I know when they found out the slave could write, they cut
They cut their tongue off. They would cut their tongue out. They would cut the gouge out their eyes, whatever. They would do whatever they could so they could not read and or write.
Right. And let alone teach somebody. Oh my God.
Exactly. So for the longest time it was illegal for a slave to read and write. Why? And also for the longest time it was illegal for a slave to own a weapon. They couldn't even own a screwdriver. They could use that as a weapon.
A weapon, yeah.
So that's the whole. So and the reason why that is because of this right here. And Marvin, shout out to him, said this really, really well. He said white people need racism. They need it because they need somebody to look down upon. Because for the longest time they've been told that they're the shit.
But does that really make you feel good about yourself looking down on somebody?
To them it does. To an arrogant. Because it's all about narcissism. Think about your classic narcissist. I know you know a few because I know a shitload of them.
Yeah.
So they have to bring everybody else down so they can make themselves feel better about themselves.
But if they only knew in essence, you look foolish.
I agree with you on
You
that.
look foolish. You come off as being clownish.
Exactly.
You come off as being not well liked.
Right.
Who would want to be around a narcissist all the time?
Well, nobody does. I can't stand them personally, but that's just me.
I don't. Like I said, I know this is kind of veering off topic, but it kind of bring me to the mindset: envy and jealous. I've never been jealous of somebody. I could possibly be envy, but it's an envy like, damn, she did it. I could do it too. So that gives me like the wherewithal to get out there and get it too. You know, to get me some or do something, get mine's going. But that's not jealousy.
No.
That's kind of like an accolade to giving that person
That's
their
your motivation.
flowers
Yeah.
to show, man, I appreciate you and I love what you're doing. It inspired me to do something. You
And
know what I'm
that's
saying?
also your motivation, right?
Exactly. So I don't understand how you gotta talk down on somebody to make yourself feel good. That's stupid.
I agree, but that's
That is
how
so
white
stupid.
but that's how white supremacy works.
And then they have a fear to walk around with a fear.
And that's why they keep us subjugated because they're scared that if we rise up and know our actual worth, that would be a problem for them. And that's how they think.
But would it really be a problem if we do take over?
No, not at all. Not at all.
They don't even know the outcome. They just trying to forecast it.
Because they want to be
know.
empowered all the time. That's the whole point. It's all about power to them. That's how racism works. Racism is a power dynamic, which is why I say that black people really can't be racist because we don't have any power. It's a power dynamic.
I remember I had this. I used to work at this. Well, I worked for the same company, but it was this guy came in and he thought one person, which is a white guy, he worked on the maintenance team. He thought this one guy was over the maintenance team, and he could just hype him up, hype up. But then in essence, the man who was really over the maintenance team used to fly to different job sites all the time. But when he came into our building, and everybody finally told him who he was, he quit because that man was black.
Was a black man.
He was black.
See, there you go.
He was black.
There you go. That's exactly my point.
I said, you're gonna quit your job because of this man's skin color.
Yep.
Now, I've never talked to him, but that was like the buzz around the job.
Right.
And he was not shy about how he felt. He told many people that.
No,
I felt like I was like,
he didn't like black folks. Did he?
that's why I said so all this time I'm like, hey, how you doing? And he probably look at me, fat nigger.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Fat black nigger.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Behind my back in my face, but this whole time I'm thinking he was a cool person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's usually how some of them operate, man. I'm telling you, that's
crazy.
how a lot of them operate. That's how a lot of them operate.
Long as you don't put your hands on me, you don't talk to me like I'm crazy, treat me like you want to be treated, we won't have a problem. But if you come there trying to talk to me like I'm your child, or try to talk beneath, or try to treat me, but no, man, we have an issue. We need to go to HR.
You know what? One of the things that I really hate, and this goes along the lines of the subject. The one thing I really, really hated is when I'm on the job and somebody calls the IT department, and I go to their desk and they looking at me like, "Can I help you?" And I say, "You call the IT department. I'm IT."
They don't expect too many black men to be in IT. They expect somebody with a dot in the middle of their forehead, or some young white cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or some older white guy.
And then when I fix their problem, they're like, "Well, damn, you know what you're doing? You think?" So I didn't go to school for this shit for nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this right here. It's the fear factor is real. I keep telling folks that, and this whole thing with Patriot Front marching on the nation's capital is a classic example of that. So what are they scared of? I just said it. They're scared that they're losing
But you
control
should
of the
be.
country. I agree with you on that.
Unmask your face.
I
March proudly.
I mean, like I said,
For instance, now that you say that, did we cover our face when we used to march?
hell no.
Why?
We was up close and we want you to see who we were.
Why we didn't cover our face?
'Cause we
we was
was-
proud just like them.
In the words of Bone Crusher, we were never scared.
Amen. Even speaking back then, when the KKK come out there, their little horses and set your front yard on fire with the little crowd, all of them was covered.
Yep.
When we used to march across the bridge and do our marching for justice and civil rights leaders and freedom riders, and none of us was covered. We had our bodies covered because we used to dress so presentable. Thank you, God. I love the way we used to dress. But none of us used to wear a mask, hats, nor sunglasses. Yeah, they might have on sunglasses because they out there in the sun marching. But as far as trying to hide their identity, no ma'am, no sir. So So that shows the difference right there. I just thought that just came to me.
Yeah.
Most of the ones who be frightened, like the KKK, used to cover their entire bodies except for their eyes.
Yeah. So they could see what they was doing.
And this one, if you look at that photo from the ones that marched the other day,
I see it.
That's the same thing.
I'm looking at it right now. It's up on the screen.
You can only see their eyes.
They got their faces and everything covered up.
God, that was like a aha moment.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, man. Say it with your chest. Don't be scared. Show us your face.
If they can explain why they're covered, maybe I understand.
Well,
Because I would tell them, we used to march just the same thing you did. We didn't cover up, so
we
why
didn't
are you
cover up
covered?
nothing. We didn't cover up nothing.
And if they used to come after us, sick dogs on us, water hoses on us, arrest us, and we used to go to jail and do our time and sit there until somebody can get us out.
Yep.
What are you scared of?
Yeah, good point.
Proud person.
The patriot front.
You know what I'm
You're supposed to be
saying?
so
So it's
patriotic.
like-
Patriots don't hide their faces. So there's that.
But that just tell you who the real patriot is.
Come on, now. There you go.
Wow.
And now, and since you brought it up, I want to go back out here, man. This is gonna be off subject. Let me turn my music down real quick. I want to say to my sisters, to my beautiful black sisters. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Y'all gonna get mad at me? I really don't give a shit. I'm married to a black woman, so she understands. If y'all gonna be going out in public, take them goddamn bonnets off your goddamn heads. Stop walking around in your damn pajamas and your damn your fuzzy ass flip flops. They ain't even fuzzy no goddamn more. I hate that with a passion, sisters. And when you come out, freshen up a little bit. When I went to go get your sour cream and onion chips from the store, I'm not gonna mention the name of the store. This woman passed by me looking just like that, smelling like some damn pussy. Sisters, cut this behavior out, and don't worry, I ain't left the brothers out either. Brothers, come on now, brothers. If you're gonna sag your damn pants, make sure your drawers are clean.
I have nothing to say.
Make sure your drawers are clean. That's number one. Number two, don't hit the blunt and then go out. Don't nobody want to smell that shit. I'm off my soapbox now. Cut the music back up. I just had to get that off my chest. Okay, I'm done. What you got, babe?
I concur. I concur. And I am a true, all 100% black woman.
Yes, indeed, she is.
I concur.
But I can tell you right now, she won't step outside that house unless she's looking halfway decent. I promise you
Unless
that.
it's an emergency.
Unless it's an emergency.
Emergency.
If something's going on with her sister or her brother or one of her nieces, nah, she's good.
But I know, sometimes you be like, well, let me just run to the hope nobody don't see me.
No.
And that's when you see everybody. I got
No.
done like that when I was in high school, and I made a promise to myself, unless I just don't give a damn no more, and I'm getting to that age like I don't give a damn. But between then and now, you would not have caught me out looking no type of way. No type of way. Because why? Because of what you just said. Another black man feeling embarrassed of me. And I should have never let my brother or my culture brother feel embarrassed of what I look like on his
Because I was damn sure embarrassed, man, when I saw all that, man. And I hate going to Walmart, but my wife sends me to the store all the damn time.
I don't like going to Walmart.
That's why she sends me, y'all. Okay? And I see that shit all the damn time. You see women coming out dressed up.
But that's the norm. I think that's like a dress code at Walmart. That's the norm dress code at Walmart. If you see somebody coming in her hair, you be like, where's she coming from? It'd be like you just saw a unicorn.
I saw this sister, man, in Walmart of all places, man. And she had this holy ass shirt, and now she was the big girl. And right there, I saw the whole damn thing, nipple and all, from the side.
And they think that's cute. When we stop wearing bras in public, ladies? big old titties hanging down to your waist, and you done what?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I said, oh man, I went to another aisle. I said, oh my God. And this brother saw me and said, you saw it too, huh? I said, man, yeah. He said, it don't make no sense, dude. I said, no, it don't.
But like, that's very honorable, y'all. Cause some guy be trying to holler at her. Hey, sunshine. Hey, beautiful. How you doing, beautiful? Can I get your number, man? Girl, you don't.
Come on,
Especially
now.
if I know I'm looking like a shitty mess. Do I really think you think I look that good? Like I said, I have nothing to say. I concur. I've been saying this forever, and I still don't understand why Monique got such backlash, because she said the same thing.
Yeah.
And she got such a bad backlash
She was
from
telling
that.
the truth.
That's what they say. The truth hurts.
I don't agree with a lot of things that Monique does. As a matter of fact, I can't stand Monique, but I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Don't, sisters, come on. It won't take but a few minutes to put a hat on your damn head. Take that damn bonnet off.
I would do. I put a hair on in a minute.
That's all you gotta do. And freshen up. I mean, don't nobody give a damn about you and your man throwing down. I mean, come on.
Well, it couldn't have been that. Whatever this stuff they smoking now, it smells like that.
Oh,
it smells. You'll be like, did they just finish? Oh, y'all smoking. Oh, okay. I be like, what y'all smoking? Y'all smoking pussy? Y'all smoking that? That's what it smell like. Now just imagine you smelling that's getting in your clothes, that's getting in your hair, and now you finna. I smell people coming to the office like that.
Oh yeah.
I smell people coming to church like that.
Oh yeah.
And you go in the stores like that.
Oh yeah.
You open up your car door, it damn near knock me out when I'm walking by.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what the people. They're like, had they become so desensitized, they can't smell it.
Now here's the thing about it. I ain't got no problem with somebody smoking weed. If you want to smoke weed, knock yourself out. I don't care. Smoke all the weed you want, but
keep you some Axe in the car.
But keep something. But come on, man, some light or something like that, man. Spray. Put it on, y'all. I mean, come on, y'all. Yeah,
that must have bothered you. You changed the whole stuff. That must have bothered you, huh?
It did, man. Cause I hate seeing that shit.
Yep.
I hate seeing that. That gets on my damn
one of
nerves.
My biggest. You ask my sister. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. I be like, what the hell? Oh, girl, come on. I be like, And sometimes I used to purposely go up and talk to him. Hey, how you doing? You doing okay today? Looking to myself. You got mirrors? You got mirrors in your house? I mean, looking from head to toe, looking like,
That don't make no damn.
I'm not judging nobody, but sometimes people, we have to be aware.
But again, man, I mean, because like, I'm like you. Where did decorum go in the black community?
I just said, look how they used to march. Cute little kitten heels, full dress past the knee, with a slip, bloomers and brassieres.
Even the damn black
and little purses.
Even the Black Panther sisters, they had their pants on, they had their leather coat on, afro done to the nine.
Yep. So how do we go from there to booty shops in a shirt with like a handkerchief tied around my neck? I don't get it. I mean, I'm proud that you out there marching, but did you have to get naked to march? No,
they are looking for attention. Those people
hot.
Like that.
Oof.
Those people like that, they're just looking for attention. But man, come on, y'all. That sisters, come on, brothers, y'all too.
But even though Monique has said it, a lot of people have said it. It hasn't stopped. To me, like it's getting worse.
It has gotten worse.
It's getting worse.
Remember when we went to the last time we went out to eat? We was right after church. Where did we go? I can't remember where we went.
There's been too many places. I don't know. We always going out to eat.
I can't remember where we went. I think it was
I can't remember.
Was it no? It wasn't then. It was we went to I think it was Cheddar's. No, it wasn't Cheddar's. It was yeah, it was Cheddar's. We had went to Cheddar's. This sister came in her pajama bottoms, a t-shirt, and a bonnet.
Oh yeah.
And some. You remember that now?
That was Cherry a couple months ago. Yeah.
Why would you come to a restaurant like that?
That's what she had on. That was her outfit the other day.
Again, why would you come out like that?
She probably had her she probably just got her hair done and she didn't want to undo it, so she just left the bonnet on.
No.
And just in case it starts sprinkling, she didn't want it to get wet. She can wear whatever she wants to because she grown. That's what they always say. I can wear whatever I want to. I'm grown.
Granted that.
But then y'all get married, y'all see these little girls walking around here with these little 5-inch heels and they walking like they pigeon toes, and then you gotta be walking with these pants. I don't even say why do you even have on pants that are around your knees? Take them out. Just or around their thighs. Take them out. But and you wonder why your children like they say I get it from my mama, I get it from my dad. If they see you looking like that, that's what they gonna do. Cause you can't tell them pull theirs up and yours look worse.
For real.
So.
And I've seen dudes, man, my age and older, sagging their damn pants.
Oh yeah, that's
Brother,
what's sad.
I'm
right
51.
there.
I'll be the first to tell anybody. I'm a proud 51.
Gray beard and your pants hanging off your butt.
Come on, brother. Come on. You older
For
than
real?
me. Pull your pants up. Anyway.
Only if they knew what that meant. When I saw that documentary and it explained to what that sagging meant, I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
But good point. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I have. You kept saying my sister. I was like, wait a minute, hold on now, cause y'all know I'm a woman. Hear me roar. I fight for my sisters, but I wholeheartedly concur. I concur.
Yep.
Say what you say what you mean, do whatever you want to say, but I concur. We need to do better.
I agree with you on
We need
that.
to do better. We just giving them fire to attack us with. Don't do that. My mom used to sit out and she said, don't give nobody ammunition to use against you.
That's right.
Even though you are grown, you buy your clothes yourself, you should be able to wear what you want to, but sometimes there's a place for everything. There's a time and place for everything. And yeah, you could have just hopped up to a car to run the store, but sometimes you got to realize who's watching you. You don't know who's looking at you, who see you.
Exactly.
So it is what it is.
That's all I got, man. I ain't got nothing else, man. I just had to get that off my chest. That's some bugging me, man,
That's
for the
all right.
longest.
That's all right.
I hate to see that stuff, man. I mean,
And that's a sad too. 'Cause I remember my grandma used to say that. She said the worst thing is for a man
to notice. Yeah.
to notice.
Yeah.
And then to say something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you talk about fuck you, nigga. You can't tell me.
That's exactly what would happen too. That's exactly what would happen too. And they wonder why they can't find a good man. Well, you just cuss the man out there trying to tell you how to look like somebody, look presentable. I mean, come on, man. But anyway, good show, baby.
Absolutely.
Really good show, man.
Always.
We weren't gonna be on it for too long because me and my wife are basketball fans. So we're not gonna stay on here like we would normally do. Cause we could talk about this subject for hours on end. But we're not gonna do that today. That on top of that, my wife then threw down in the kitchen and I'm kind of hungry.
Oh, Lord.
So, yeah.
Okay, we gonna have to come through. Boston, y'all down 2-0. Y'all have to come through now. Y'all gonna let Jimmy Butler and them take it on to the house.
Oh man, this is my prediction.
Come on, Marcus Smart. You gotta step up, boy.
I mean, this is just my prediction.
Jason Tatum.
I want Boston to win. Don't get me wrong. I want
know.
Boston to win. I don't have anything against my Miami team.
I don't either, but I just want Boston to get it.
I want Boston to get it, man.
Yeah.
But if Miami wins it, that's cool.
Yeah,
I just don't want the Lakers to get in.
Well, I don't know. Little Jane, what you call a little bitch, Jane.
Little bitch, yeah, little bitch.
You see, it was still time on the clock, and they were down. He just walked off the court. That to me, that's a sour attitude. And you have sons in the league that's in sports as well. That's a poor piss attitude to have.
I agree.
Poor piss attitude. You need to stay to the buzzer sound, shake the other team's hand, and congratulate them. But no, baby, he walked off for the toe. The game was even over.
I know it. Let's see.
And that's who y'all look up to.
Well, see, here's the thing about it. You can't call him the GOAT anymore because
I
Michael
never
Jordan.
call him that.
Because Michael
Ever.
Jordan would never do that. Michael Jordan has never done that. Jordan hated to lose. He'd be the first to tell anybody that. But Jordan respected the other team for winning.
But you know what? I'm not going to take nothing away from LeBron.
No doubt.
But I will never call him the GOAT either.
No, exactly.
Ever.
Because his attitude sucks. That's why I call him little bitch. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But come on, Boston. We need this, so let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Definitely, man. Anyway, hopefully we'll be able to go to the FBA conference by Tariq Nasheed. So that's this weekend.
Yeah, where's
this upcoming
it gonna be?
weekend. Dallas.
What, Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, I think.
Okay, God, so we got so many graduates. A friend of mine came today.
Oh,
We got
yeah,
so many
yeah, yeah,
graduations
yeah.
coming up so
Oh,
far.
I
I done
forgot
got
about
5.
that.
I'm like, I got 5 people to back. I'm proud of them because so many young people are dropping out of school these days. So I am so proud of these young people getting their degrees or passing on to the next grade. So yeah, roar, roar, roar. But oh Lord, 5 gifts I gotta get. Yeah, but okay, Saturday. I don't think we
We'll
have
figure it
nothing
out.
Saturday. I know we got something Sunday, but I don't think about Saturday.
I think it's Saturday. I have to look it up. I'll look it up when we get off the show.
I would love to go to one of his conferences because I've never been.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of folks there.
And
I gotta
like
get
his
my book so I can
movie-
get him to sign it. I
Yeah,
gotta
his
get him a
movie
book.
was at
Buck Breaking
Yeah,
and Kid in Colors, those.
Yeah, I love those movies. So.
Yeah.
Need to get
But,
caught up on the other one just in
yeah.
case we do go.
Yeah, American Maroon. That's a pretty good one. As usual, babe. Good show.
Absolutely.
I guess next time, since nobody was here, hold on. Leslie was in there.
Hey,
Man,
Les.
Les, you still here?
How you doing? I ain't heard from you in a long time.
Oh, he can't talk. He's at work.
He's at work. Shot, but good to
He's
see
at
you
work.
online listening.
All right.
Hope everything is well with
All
you and your
right.
family.
Oh yeah, he said he'll be back on soon. So all right, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But man, you missed a good window last man. But he
Yeah, I
was
want
here.
to know what happened when you dressed up. When you dressed up as the Kai.
I had to put Les out there, man. Yeah, him and
In
Rodney did.
Oklahoma. like, what were you thinking, sir?
Oh shit! Yeah, that was funny though, man. That was funny, man. That was funny, But anyway, that was funny. But anyway,
So always remember to tell a friend, subscribe,
hit the like button, man. Hit the notification, do all that good stuff, man.
Tell a friend.
But yeah, Les, man, we'll get you next time, brother. Yeah, he was at work around. He said I was at work around them folks that really can't talk, but I'll be back on soon.
Understand.
Hey, brother, we
Understand.
understand. Trust me, we understand. So
Understand.
yeah, we'll get you back on, man. We'll get you back on
Absolutely.
because we miss you, brother.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll get you back on here. But anyway, we're gonna get off of here because, like I said, I gotta go eat and grab the wife's booty for a little while. You know how that go.
Y'all, okay. Y'all, I'm still begging for help. Please help me. Please. I'm begging, please.
She knows she likes it.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel violated. Like start crying like the white ladies. I don't know. I feel violated.
And a nan tear coming out her face, y'all. Come on.
All right, guys. Good to hear. See y'all. We was back on time today.
Mm-hmm.
We was on time.
We was on time today.
Had to get production in check, y'all.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, continue to listen to the show. Listen to all the different platforms we on. Doing some good things. And of course, like always, if there's a show topic you'd like to speak on, especially what's going on in this thing we call America,
Oh man, yeah.
please let us know because
Let
so
us
much
know
is
something,
going
man.
on.
It's a lot of shit going on, y'all. Let's just be honest.
So much is going on.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Like
indeed.
I said again, I know I mentioned before, but that story about the ex-Marine, I'm torn on that story. I don't know
we're gonna
why
keep looking
I'm
at that.
torn.
We're gonna keep
but
looking at that.
I just can't make a definite side to be on. You know what I'm saying? Because I see it from one perspective, then I see it from another perspective. So I'm kind of see stories like that conflicts me.
Yeah.
Now some of this stuff I'd be like, what the but that one right there, it doesn't touch home because I haven't been in that situation, but it's perplexing my humanitarian spirit.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how to feel with that.
All
All right, guys.
So anyway, yeah. Well, I guess I'll go and get off of here and eat and fill the wife up.
All right.
So
I'm Reggie O.
Anyway, I'm Reggie,
I'm Mimi the lady.
and I'm out.
Bye.